President Trump, he has initiated peace talks with Russia. You have served in Prime Minister Viktor Orban's cabinet, who has been a supporter, a proponent of peace talks and ending the Ukraine conflict. Why is it significant for the Ukraine conflict to end now?
First of all, peace is better than war. That's the starting point. Today we have so many problems in the world that large powers need to talk to each other and create a new world order. I would say we are at the stage where a new Yalta is needed. Politics and geopolitics is not a moral enterprise. It has moral consequences, but at critical junctions of history, the big powers should sit down. And big powers that define those who have nuclear warheads. Europe has been a victim of this war, economically, politically and otherwise. There are huge debates in each and every country of the European Union as to which way to go, how to end this war and why to end this war. Because obviously those countries who are neighbors to Russia and who had bad historic experience, it's very legitimate that they have questions about the future intention of Russia and the other players. Further west on the continent, there are countries who actually hasn't lost men, people, just raised funds and sent money and weapons. And if you think about what happens in Ukraine is a demographic, economic and political tragedy. And it should have been and could have been avoided over a white table. The question is whether the leaders today are wise enough to sit down and say, okay, harm is made. Actually, blood is there. So why don't we sit down and rethink these things? And my Prime Minister, Viktor Orban, has been always an advocate of the peace, because war in our neighborhood hurts us. Over the last 30 years, this is the second war. The first was the Yugoslavian war 50 years ago, or more, 10 years ago, and it hurts us. And as a country who had shared history with the Central European countries and suffered several ways in the 20th century, we really appreciate the benefits of the peace. And we are of assistance of any people who wants to recreate the peace with keeping the dignity of all nations and all countries involved.
Sure. So Hungary has been one of the countries that has pushed back against efforts to stop importing Russian crude. You have suggested that you need a replacement of either in cash or in some other way. You need an alternative. You, along with India, are importing Russian crude right now. So, and on the other hand, we are seeing some of the problems in Europe, high energy costs, inflation, which are being created, due to the war in Ukraine, the spillover effects of the sanctions. From an economic perspective, why has Hungary not stopped importing Russian crude despite being part of the EU?
Well, the EU acts together, but in specific cases, it gives way to countries to handle their problem, or gives some opportunity to take time to do so. Hungary is a landlocked country. We got our oil through pipelines, just like the Czech Republic and Slovakia. And the alternatives are very limited. plus technologically, it takes time to convert our refineries to other type of crudes. But I think in Europe, if you look at the Europe-Russia trade, be that France or Germany, you can see that the imports from Russia in these countries, in different products, have even increased historic levels. So when the press or people talk about that Hungary still buys Russian crude, they should see the whole picture, that other countries do things as well, because they don't have alternative.
Sure. Problem. One last question, sir. You have an economic background. You have been associated with Bank of China previously. How do you see the future of BRICS? President Trump has been threatening tariffs on BRICS. He has been saying that if BRICS pursues its policy of de-dollarization and seeks to replace the US dollar, on a geo-economic level, do you think BRICS, its role in world affairs, it's poised to grow, or would you back President Trump, who has said on a couple of occasions that BRICS is dead? So overall, how do you see the future of BRICS?
I think President Trump, what he's doing is proposing extraordinary things, and he's waiting for reactions. If you look at the Gaza Strip question, the Palestinians suffering for decades, no one wanted to own the problem in the Arabic world, and now as President Trump said, okay, I will fix Gaza, then Egypt, Jordan and other countries step up and say, okay, we will fix it. So I think it's partly technical and partly material, what President Trump suggests. If I think about his other suggestions from 2 weeks ago, that he would cut the defense budget of the US by half, subject to Russia and China cutting it by half. Now, each country can use those funds for other purposes. Whether this idea would fly, not to the extent, but I think it's a great idea. So it's important that now we look at the reality as it is, rather than lullabying ourselves into illusions or staying hostage of past decisions. The world has changed and will change even more dramatically in the wake of AI and other things. So therefore, if the large countries don't talk to each other and cannot, and via the talks build some chemistry and create a new balance in the world order, then all of us will suffer. Not only India, not only the US, not only Europe, but all of us.
Sure. Thank you.